She has an official website. No fucking way. Get the fuck out of here. She's got an official website, and her merch is somebody orgasming, making the Ahego face, saying you just been fucked by psyops because physical wounds heal.
Hey, don't fall for the Psyop, brothers. What if it was the best blowjob you've ever had in your life?
What you're seeing is advanced warfare.
The U.S. government is engaged in a large number of secret medical experiments, developing techniques for mind control to create a so-called Manchurian candidate. What is the extent of these brainwashing experiments? How did the CIA become involved in such far-reaching and disturbing research?
Put a 1 in chat if you remember the Army e-girl who turned out to literally be in an Army psyop unit. The Army's using e-girls on TikTok to psyop people into joining and supporting the U.S. military. And it seems to be like actually like full-scale operation that they're conducting on the American public to psyop them into getting horny for the Army. Right? Like, literally like psyoping people to like associate the Army with hot, sexy e-girls. Hot troops and like the hot ICE agent and the hot cops. I think all of those were proto versions of this psyop, and that people whose job it is to notice that they were pretty effective, right? People are just too horny for their own good. And the IDF has been doing the e-girl psyop stuff for a while, right? Putting attractive women as the face of the IDF internationally. We try to associate the image with that. They have moved into TikTok as well, right? There's plenty of IDF e-girl TikToks out there. Dazed has an article about this. How e-girl influencers are trying to get Gen Z to join the military. Like the Pentagon saw that meme where the soldier had a pinup poster of Belle Delphine and said, wait a minute. Yeah, right? The thing about Belle Delphine is extremely sussy. But yeah, vibes are off. Her vibes are off in the way that like, I feel like she has like a bunch of sauna rads in her room. I'm not the American dream. I'm more like the American nightmare, beams the influencer Hallie John. So this is Hallie John. This is the woman, and I'll pull up the TikTok here.
My insides are red, and yours are too, and the red on my face is matching you. And goodness, you're bleeding. What a wonderful feeling. You're down and you're bleeding.
So, this is the Army PSYOP officer. This is an Army PSYOP officer.
They said I could never fly an Apache after an hour in flight school. They've never had echelon.
This woman, she is literally an Army PSYOP officer. And her whole thing is being, like, very, like, sexually menacing and, like, threatening violence with her eyes. And she's following almost the exact same pattern as Belle Delphine. Like, I get insane Belle Delphine vibes from her. Right? Like the eyes. Like the terrifying, like, eyes. Anyways, she's literally an Army PSYOP officer. Like, in Army PSYOPs. This is the one that made her go viral.
Cruel and evil to me are gonna die soon. Every time I meditate, God loves me a little
So
more.
she's like doing like the staring, unblinking, and then like excessive blinking. And then she has lip synced this to make it further off-putting. Like, this is a very high level PSYOP technique. This is weird. It's designed to be deeply upsetting, right? No, and it's meant to be unsettling in a way, and it's kind of like, whatever. With full face e-girl makeup, drawn on freckles and a rosy nose, the 20-year-old is the face of an unsettling new breed of e-girls garnering millions of views online. She posts thirst traps inside choppers and pouty selfies with assault rifles, with hashtags like pew pew and military curves. She shares cutesy unboxing compilations and makeup tutorials, get ready with me videos, and lip syncs. She jokes about war bunkers and plays with remote control tanks, which she overlays with sparkly filters and heart emojis. Known in esoteric meme circles as the PSYOP girl, because she literally is an Army PSYOP agent, Hallie John, I don't know, that's a weird white girl name, known as Lujan, is a self-described psychological operations specialist for the U.S. Army, whose online presence has led to countless memes speculating that she is a post-ironic psyop meant to recruit people to the U.S. Army. I think they're fucking right. And it's also, she has this, her intonation and the way she speaks and the way she looks at you, it's like very like carefully crafted to be like, almost hypnotic. Super unsettling. Uncanny Valley shit for sure. Who's actually employed by the U.S. Army Psyops division, posts countless TikToks and memes that play into her. Her official website calls it Psyops. She has an official website. No fucking way. No fucking way. No fucking way. Get the fuck out of here. She's got an official website, and her merch is somebody orgasming, making the Ahego face, saying, "You just been fucked by psyops because physical wounds heal." Right? She's like, it's this weird thing where she's trying to associate eroticism with uncanny stuff with the idea of psyops to like create like a sexual connection, like a mind control psyop fetish for people. It's very unsettling. She needs to be in jail. She needs to be in jail right now. My own taxes are used to psyop me, says one commenter. Definitely a Fed. I'm signing up for the army now, writes another. But Haley June isn't the only e-girl using Sanrio sex appeal to lure the internet's SIMPs into the armed forces. There's Bailey Crespo, Kayla Salinas. Never heard of those two. Oh, come on! The Army's just got a fucking e-girl psyop factory!
So, like, did you ever deploy? No.
Oh, they just got an e-girl psyop factory! Pablo Zahego, every time you get horny, you feel compelled to commit war crimes. It's like, what it's trying to do is tie eroticism, like a fetish, to the military and to the act of being psyoped. It's very weird. While she didn't document her military career, influencer Bella Porch also served in the Navy for 4 years before going viral on TikTok in 2020 with the help of the DoD botnets, I'm sure, and is arguably the blueprint for this kind of kawaii commodified fetishism in the military. An adjacent figure, Natalia Fadiv, known as Gun Waifu. Oh, come the fuck on. Oh my fucking god. I hate this. No. Late Empire is terrible. Is an Israeli influencer and an IDF soldier who uses waifu aesthetics and catgirl cosplay to peddle pro-Israeli propaganda to her 756,000 followers. She poses to the camera, Ahego style, with freshly manicured nails wrapped neatly around a Glock. The uwu-fication of military functioning as a cutesy distraction from the shadowy colonial context. When they try and destroy your nation, writes one caption. We've entered an era of military-funded e-girl warfare. Dude, literally, the military is using the fucking military and fucking empire is using e-girls, the fucking psyop people into supporting empire. What the fuck is going on? So, in what would have felt unimaginable only a few years back, influencers are the hottest new weapon in the government's arsenal. Here, cosplay commandos post nationalist thirst traps to mobilize the SIMPs, attracting the sort of impressionable reply guys and 4chan lost boys who message OMG, DM me fire emoji on every post. Sanitizing the harsh realities of US imperialism with cute e-girl-isms, it promotes the sort of hyper-sexualized militarism that reframes violence as something cute, goofy, and unthreatening. A subversion of the beefy special forces stereotype in the mainstream. Yes, they're putting this perfectly. arguably far more upsetting than any 20th century CIA covert op, there's no hush-hush with this operation. Rather, it's in plain sight, capitalizing on online irony to lull you into a false sense of security with hashtag relatable content and a sort of tapped-in memery that can only come from years of being terminally online. She's just like me, for real. Don't go to college. Become a farmer and soldier instead, Lu Jan urges her audience, before going into an anti-liberal rant about the metaverse and Impossible Burgers. Realistically, it's not that the U.S. Army is actively funneling trad ideology via a 20-something influencer, although they are. Posting hot girl content as a soldier online benefits her personal brand too. But when you consider how enlistment rates among Gen Z have plummeted, unofficial pro-military content like Lu Jan's undeniably plays into the US Army's motive. See, when the Army spends $100 million on advertisements each year just to get ratioed by a 21-year-old girl with a TikTok. A logical next step in the military entertainment complex, the U.S. military has long collaborated with Hollywood to provide equipment and funding to promote patriotic war crimes. The popularity of Army influencers suggests new ways in which online culture can be manipulated to sway Gen Z. Last year, it was reported that the U.S. Army allocated millions of dollars to recruit Twitch influencers to create original content videos showcasing the wide range of skills offered by the Army, and to use influencers to familiarize their fans with Army values and opportunities. Now, we've already talked about this one a bit in the past, right? The Army had this long, elaborate plan to spend hundreds of millions of dollars to recruit Twitch streamers, and granted, speaking as a Twitch streamer, we are probably a lot cheaper to hire than a marketing agency. Right? To hire Twitch streamers to basically serve as recruiting funnels and launder the public image of the U.S. Army to their fan bases. They were also planning on funding esports tournaments, right? While this was mainly focused on esports and Call of Duty, it's no stretch to imagine a marketing drive aimed at e-girls as well. A theory that becomes all the more convincing when you consider the U.S. Psyop motto is persuade, change, influence. The targeted attempt by the U.S. military specifically to recruit Gen Z has led to several online gaffes, but social media remains one of their most powerful recruitment tools, writes David Knoll, an internet researcher and former Army vet. The open, secret nature of these influencers is a part of the intrigue. Other militaries use e-girl influencers who deny any official connection, whereas someone like Lunchbag Lu Jan capitalizes on the speculation of whether or not she's paid by the U.S. Army to be a fucking PSYOP officer, which she literally is. She's literally a fucking PSYOP officer. While people debate what's real and what's fake, the real PSYOP is the normalization of U.S. military recruitment through social media. E-girl arming influencers undermine the reality and history of the U.S. military while changing our conception of what it means to be a soldier. Literally whitewashing war crimes, whitewashing the fact that the U.S. military is the tool of imperialism to murder and subjugate millions of people across the planet and have been for hundreds of years. Right, to whitewash that while simultaneously changing the public image of a soldier from, the beefy Rambo type to this cutesy, kawaii aesthetic. An example of non-linear warfare, these influencers play into our notion of what's real. They provide the illusion of debate while remaining in total control of the narrative. There is this wider doubt of reality and a communal sense of chaos and unreality. So it follows that internet culture would play into discuss it and perpetuate it, agrees Dr. Christina Spence, author of The Fear and Shooting Hipsters. By making people doubt what's real, are these girls actually in the army? Are these stunts real? Are their faces real? Is the war real? They just add to the overall confusion and disassociation that leads to desensitization ultimately. Right. Feeding unreality and detachment. That's a part of the PSYOP. The confusion allows the government to further scope to exercise control over its subjects. And internet researcher Jack Ritker writes an extensive report under the subject, Under Psyop Realism. Everything is a psyop and everyone is a fed. Relatable title. He's just like me for real. Beyond the social media promo and fear tactics, however, the surging popularity of influencers like Lou John is a symptom of post-capital. As the cost of living rises and living conditions plummet in the imperial core, I'm adding that, an increasing number of young people are turning to vocational jobs for stability. As Ricker points out, even McDonald's will send you to college after a couple years of enlistment. Move bodies, make memories, do work, grins Hallie Lou John in a recent video. She might be dressed in head-to-toe camo, but the sentiment is no different from the same 24 hours in a day girl bossery preached by the Kardashians or Sigma males flexing their grind set. The epitome of what Succession's Roman Roy meant when he dreamed of a future with e-girls with guns and jewel pods. Well, that future is fucking here, buddy. Military-funded e-girl warfare is the latest symptom of a society run threadbare by neoliberalism. And it's no far stretch to imagine weird crossovers like this as conditions worsen. So what's next? NASA e-girl ambassadors? I'd support that. A McDonald's waifu? Probably. The resulting content may be funny and kind of surreal, but don't lose sight of why we're in this position in the first place. That absolute banger article, right? 100% correct, right? This is like the symptom of the imperial decline, that like everything is surreal. It's like the hyper-normalization. Everything's surreal. Everything is fake. Everything's a psyop. And there are literal psyops everywhere. It's very, very disconcerting.
It's just a grotesque postmodern psyop, and anyone who's fallen for this is brain damaged.
Okay, I'm with my friend from Ilpro. We're about to go to Donald Trump Jr.'s party, and if I meet Donald Trump Jr., I'm going to take a picture with him and put a really stupid caption. Stay tuned.
Come here. Yeah.
It's propaganda. Wake the fuck up. It's propaganda. We go, Jim. Nope, not your war, not your monkeys, not your circus.